Hello intellectuals, stopkillinggames.com. It's self-explanatory. We're waiting for the lantern so that we can see more. Complaining about Mass Effect? Of course. On Kadara also, as well. Where I talk, oh hey, maybe instead of waiting for the lamp, maybe I'll go into message. Oh, the lamp is coming. No audio logs, but there are user emails. We'll read them after the lamp comes over. After we reach the next area, I guess, specifically. Simply. We're looking for SMG ammo, because we've got plenty and we want to utilize it. I want to utilize it. I don't like sitting on the full pile of things. Kadara. Another world that we ought to explore, more like do something to... Oh, snap. He camouflaged pretty well in the fucking darkness. Our lamp is gone now. But supplies aren't. Oh, we're full on... oh, snap. Full on plasma rifle. Again, we shouldn't be. Should we be? No, we're not. So just... oh, snap, that can't be right. I can't even see. If only there was a flashlight attached to the plasma rifle. Is that it? Is that over? Alright. Back to SMG. Because it has a lamp on it. Light. Flashlight. Torch, even. Some could say. Right, so then... oh, right, it's closed off now and I have to climb. Oh, it lowered. The floor lowered. I think that's what happened. Well... so we're gonna have to raise to the occasion, right? And lamp, just as we needed it. Anything here, though? Yes, in fact. But the lamp is gone now. That's too much ammo. Right, Kadara. Eventually you're gonna come across a little house. Ah, snap. Dude, fuck off. I'm talking. You're distracting me. There he is. You think there are female imps? How do they reproduce? Aren't they souls? Do they not need to reproduce? Wouldn't that make them not alive then? Technically, that would, if they don't reproduce. But then again, maybe... well, I just don't know. I would think since they're imps from hell, they're made out of evil souls from people, and souls don't reproduce. So, it's not like souls were alive in the first place. So, imps aren't either. Alright, we've been here, that's fine. So what's on Kadara? Eventually you're gonna come across a little house, shack, shed, possibly, depending, right? Because it's very small, there are multiple people and there are not really living spaces. There's a lot of talk in this game about colonization, but you'll hardly ever find fucking houses where a person can live, not like an apartment building, where people can just stack up and live. You'll find like office spaces for doing colonial work. Computers, you know, a medical office maybe, but nowhere really where you could house people. Where would you have... so let's change the topic, right? What's going on in Mass Effect colonization efforts? You're not really building houses. You're not starting by building apartment buildings to house all the people, so that they can come, so that they can live somewhere and then go to work in the structures that you build later, perhaps. Or you don't start with sewer, you start with office spaces, that's one thing. Second, or maybe it's an American dream or like an American idea for housing, where everyone lives in the suburbs in one family house. That's maybe, oh, that's how it works. Is it gonna open up? It was open just a moment ago. Can I? No, there's an invisible wall here already. I wonder what they're doing to the imps that there is a sound there. Probably just deleting the model, because it's not like you're going to be using it. Or maybe we're going to have, yeah, windows here, so we're going to see it after all. Oh, that might have... what was it? 624? No, maybe it's going to be in the emails, in the datapad that we've picked up in the previous episode. So, Qatar, they're not building apartment buildings. Maybe they're building suburbs, where everyone has a house to their disposal, rather than just an apartment in a skyscraper. No, not really. Like I said, they're starting off with office spaces and no place to live, actually. No toilets, no showers, no like a space for a family to live in, or even a single person to live in, with a kitchen and stuff. They are communally living in some spaces, as you could see from the areas. They've got like those shacks or huts Alright, this must be... what is this? Like a... sterilization, cleansing procedure, there's a word for it. Decontamination, that's what it is. But the guy's in the tube. You're not gonna decontaminate that. Are you decontaminating the outside vat? Is that necessary even? Right, so there are those little houses, little huts, and you'll find a lot of makeshift beddings there, like blow up air mattresses and such, or like is it folded or unfolded? Like a bed that you can pack, like a frame bed, like a gurney, something like that, that you can pack in, and so you can stack people in there in like a communal living space, because times are tough right now. We need office spaces more than housing, so of course colonial efforts is not about living here, it's about working here, obviously. American dream, of course. Yeah, they don't have... in Mass Effect Andromeda, you're establishing colonies and you don't establish living spaces for people. It's pretty cool. All free prefabs, all one-story houses, all office spaces. Right, let's check the datapad again, maybe pull out... there we go, there's the code. Jacob, we have recently changed the code to the storage locker near the stasis transfer. That should be it. Control to 371. Please be sure to annotate this on the security report for the local security detail. From guy to another. Repower out, maintenance. Mr. Stemos, we are aware of the power problems in your area. Presently, we are dealing with several power issues throughout the entire Delta complex. It would be a great help if you would check some of the circuit breaker boxes in maint 04, that would be maintenance, short for maintenance, I'm pretty sure, to determine if it is simply a break issue. Please file a report with the help desk and we will be out to your department as soon as possible. And the dump power has been fluctuating all week in the specimen transfer area. These conditions make it extremely frustrating to work. Can you please send someone? At least it's just extremely frustrating to work rather than it's extremely unsafe because the safety features are not powered anymore and it releases fucking demons from hell. 371 did it say? Yes, it did. Alright, so SMG ammo packed in. We're still not maxed out. But it's in the clear, we are full health to fuck shotguns as usual. Oh snap. Bitch! Fuck shotgun, that's the time where I needed a fucking melee weapon. Of course, again, shotgun is melee. In this game, specifically. Double, we're not gonna be coming back here probably. So on Kadara, you're gonna establish a settlement like that again, where it's mostly office spaces, but what I'm trying to say... Oh snap. Where did you come from? And who invited you? Go colonize somewhere else. Right, I guess it's clear. On Kadara, you'll eventually come across this hut, and there is an Asari, a Krogan, and a Salarian there. And they're talking gibberish. They seem to be just speaking about the data, like just seemingly tidbits, factoids, like excerpts from books, from manuals, about history, about tactics, about something or another, about science, like early grade school stuff, and it sounds profound because it sounds scientific and is in a professional dry language. So there must be speaking smart things. That's totally weird, and in monotone tone of voice as well. Only Salarian, initially, or at least at the time when you find them, resists what ends up being a signal broadcasted around. And he tells you something's going on, I don't remember how I got here and what's happening. And then he reverts back to being mind-controlled. So we just travel a little bit further down the area and we find another shack, and there are two scientists there. They are ex-Cerberus, the racist organization that puts humanity first in the galactic effort. Yeah, they're essentially... was it home? That's what it is? Home terrorism? Civil terrorists? Home terrorists, I think. Something like that. Similar to sovereign citizens, only they're way better funded and way better educated. Anyway, they're prominent in... Oh, snap. In the trilogy, bitch! I'm gonna take this now. I'm tired of it. And I think I'm gonna go back for the med station in the room. Ah, snap. You're just gonna be following me. Where do they spawn you in? It's not like even. It's not even like I can hear you. Okay, that's what you deserve. Hear you being spawned with the portals and such, right? When they appear, you usually hear the lightning, and then a portal opens and brings them in to actually announce them to a player. Instead, it's not that it's a monster closet in this time, in this situation specifically. It's that they just get spawned out of sight, so that it's a surprise and you've got something to fight apparently, or something. They have something to slow you down with us now. Yes. So Cerberus and the enemy organization of Cerberus. Oh, a video disc, probably the thing that was being talked about right across through the window with the storage. We're gonna watch that eventually. Thirsty Burst and Robocola. I see. It's no Sprunk. That's for sure. Or that, you know, original actual World Earth brand that I'm not gonna mention because it's not like they're paying me to mention them. Ex-Cerberus scientists, and they are talking about Overlord DLC from the trilogy and a paid content. At least it was while their servers were being maintained, and now it's all free. So they're talking about DLC. There's one more thing that talks about the DLC. Of course, this is an Easter egg. This is a reference to the previous title, which is perfectly fine. You want to link your new world to your previous world to really highlight that it's a serious series, and the events really take place in the world where the inhabitants hear about the exploits of your main character from the previous games. I'm pretty sure that's the idea, right? So from there... Oh, that's not armor, that's just a trash can. That's fine. So they talk about the Overlord DLC, and they've got a signal, and they try to mind control those three people that you found earlier. And it's an interesting quest because it doesn't limit you to a false dichotomy where you can only choose this thing that's mostly right in certain circumstance, or the other thing that might be wrong in certain circumstances, right? It's not like a renegade, good or bad, renegade or paragon. Bro. Oh, Soul Cube. So if you're gonna talk about Soul Cube, I might as well see if the disc is actually about the... Yeah, it's gone. The video disc about fucking what? The storage, the cold storage probably. So in a moment, I want to get my thought out. The choice to deal with the quest is non-binary. Imagine that. It's a whole spectrum, right? There's 48 options for this. No, there's 3, and they're all actually interesting because they're not that. For instance, I think I mentioned already. There's a quest where a guy is imprisoned and he's accused of murder, and so you go to invest. The corpses have not been. The corpse of the victim was not recovered, so we don't know what the situation is. So you can investigate, and you investigate that. So the situation is, you can investigate, and it turns out that the guy didn't kill the other guy, but he meant to. So obviously, if you're anywhere nearly savvy or heard about law, you will know that you can be charged for attempted murder. Attempted crimes are also crimes because you're willing to do that. It's not that it's not murder because someone stopped you. The intent was there. You were already taking the steps. You were already gonna break the. I'm trying to be careful with my language because I don't want to put myself into a situation where I have to discuss the Minority Report as well, the movie. You were already committed to committing the crime. Maybe tautological, but I'm gonna go with that. You were already committed to committing the crime, and it's not that you're not guilty of anything just because someone kicked the gun out of your hand and you failed to kill the guy, or that you shot the guy but you missed for some reason, right? Because you're a bad shot. No, right? So it turns out that the guy was gonna kill the guy, but the guy was killed before he pulled the trigger, and so his shot didn't kill the guy, and so you returned back to the situation, like to the hub, to return the quest, and the guy asks you, so if we convict him of murder, he didn't technically do it, but if we let him go, then he's let go for even trying to, something like. Well, one way or another, you either, well, right, I think that's what it is. You either find him innocent or guilty of murder, and see, this is where your shitty wheel of choice of dialogue wheel comes into play, where it's always vague and short, because for some reason you can't have the whole line displayed on the screen, for some fucking reason, and for some fucking reason you also can't have more than 3 or 6 options. So he's either innocent or guilty of murder, and you could utilize the vagueness of your dialogue wheel to convey that if you, the player, has any knowledge of the legal system, you would know that this is an attempted murder that he is guilty of. So you can still convict him rightfully and justly. But no, you don't have that option. But with this quest on Kadara, you can either turn the brainwashing or mind control machine on the scientists to punish them. You can use the machine and make the mind control on the target lesser or less painful, more humane. You can make the experiment more humane, or you can also, this is an option, fantastic, you can just walk away and do nothing about it. You can choose, well, nothing about it. You can choose to let the experiment continue as it is. And it's cool because it's 3 different options, and none of them is specifically right or wrong, because you're maliciously turning it back on the scientists in vengeance, and that's not justice. You can only slightly easing the suffering of the subjects, or you do nothing. Of course, you could argue that there should be a 4th option that's just and moral, but at least you're choosing from the shades of grey, and that's an interesting choice. At least there's one of that, as opposed to, like I mentioned, just black and white, and they're both wrong. Right, so video disk that we've got now. I've read all the emails, user data mine, a video disk, the latest one, specimen status museum, so it is that. Let's see.
Welcome to the Delta Complex Stasis Chambers. This facility was constructed to house and study the extra-dimensional beings, which were recovered during some of the first teleporter tests originating from Delta Level 3. While little is known about their native environment, the specimens appear to be carbon-based lifeforms with extremely high heat tolerances. The epidermal tissue is extremely resilient to abrasion or incision, which has complicated internal studies. Observational studies have shown incredible strength and agility, as well as the ability for some specimens to manifest and control cohesive plasma masses. The method by which these plasma masses are created is yet unknown. It is believed that the specimens possess a rudimentary intelligence and social structure, as was demonstrated during the first tragic expeditions through the portal. While the cost in human life has been great in acquiring these specimens, we hope to one day complete genomic mapping and begin to answer the many questions we have about these entities.
Demon Museum, as opposed to Specimen Stasis Museum. Very cool. That's like an internal file name, because they can do that and call it whatever, just like they did with Half-Life 1, when they were very mad at the developing process and they just started naming the files like fuck you and shit I hate and something like that. Yeah, very brave of them to put in pictures of massacre in their labs to show off what they've done so far. Also, that's always a very great situation to be in. Having an evil person do evil experiments, and then you show up, you apprehend the perpetrator, and then you also have the wealth of knowledge that they've uncovered, and your hands are clean because you haven't done it. And if you let that knowledge go to waste, it's wasted, and all the sacrifices that the people went through, all the suffering, is for nothing. At least you've got the solutions, right? And you haven't made the decision to torture someone for that knowledge. So that's a great position to be in, always. Right, I'm not gonna watch the video through here this time. Oh, cool, locker 666 for the code 372. Seemingly. What's in? Oh snap, that can be good. Ha! Juked you this time. well ahead of time too. No one else? So, well, it is a monster closet, and like for multiple reasons. It's no longer just a cabinet, it's a secret door. The code is right here to trick you to get hit.
Soul cube in hell, and you will never find it.
And we'll see about that. I'm just not convinced that that would be so. So not only is it not a locker, simply locker, someone built the place like this, brought in a locker, cut out the fucking back wall, installed it, coded it to 666 and slapped the access code right on it, and then a demon showed up here and waited for something to happen. Amazing. Is it a monster closet? Like a motherfucker it is. Fucking yeah, totally realistic engineering and feng shui and like internal design and decoration. Right. Anything interesting in here other than the oh, hey, datapad. Do you think they'll have? Oh, right. Hey, video disc. Do you think they'll have these video? I'm pretty sure they're gonna have it on this disc at least. So we're full on armor. This station doesn't have much health, but we do. We have a lot of health. Right. So I guess datapads are gonna be subject to browsing the next episode. Focused scan matrix. I can click it, but there's nothing here. Mixer imaging scanner, right, whatever that is. Click it, what else is it gonna do? Jeez. Error specified artifact not found. How would you know? This reminds me of those gizmos that they were selling on like crowdfunding websites, because I'm also not paid to promote any particular one. Where they would give you seemingly a portable, handheld, battery-operated mass spectrometer, so you can scan the fruit to have the device tell you whether it's healthy to eat or edible at all, or what actually are you scanning. Whether you find you would think it would be pretty cool to scan a thing like in the woods. You found a fungus and you're wondering, is it edible? Is it poisonous? I'm gonna scan it and I'm gonna know. Well, of course it's a scam, because you first have to input what you're scanning, which defeats the purpose of scanner, and also it doesn't tell you anything because it's too small to actually contain the device, the mechanisms, the technology that actually mass spectrometers anything. So I'm supposed to enter soul cube data into the scanner so that it can scan the soul cube and tell me that it is in fact a soul cube in there that we're scanning. Yeah, thank you for the information. Also, this is dangerous. Well, yeah, they've got caution signs here. If you're standing here, that would kill you. All you need to do is not do that, not stand here. But also, all you needed to do is not design it like this. Maybe give it walls, maybe make the arms not move in such a way that it will kill you if you're standing here. Like, recently actually I saw, no, that's just armor. Recently actually I saw a workplace accident where a guy was cleaning up like a bakery area where there are giant industrial stand mixers, and he was cleaning the area around the mixer, and some bitch, a woman also in, let's call it maintenance, cleaning service from cleaning, walked up to it and turned it on, and it killed the guy. Stunning, amazing. Good thing she looked. Why would she turn it on? She killed the guy. It's fine. Work safety, man. Safety is important. Oh, it's this guy. No, unfortunately I did not manage to kill him before it hit me. And I feel disappointed about that. I do have armor shards here. Right, so this will be it for today. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and hopefully we will see each other in something I play for you for free. In the meantime, of course, interact with this video and every other video on my channel, preferably by watching and sharing it with your friends. Check out the RGB rave under the video around the like and subscribe button. And if you don't like the content, it's entirely your fault.